How do you feel about law enforcement agencies using your personal DNA data in criminal investigations? Despite which side of the fence you're on, you might want to take a second look at the fine print on your preferred ancestry website. In November 2022, 4 University of Idaho students were ruthlessly murdered at their off-campus home. Less than 2 months later, a suspect, 28-year-old Bryan Kohberger, was arrested in connection to the killings. According to an official affidavit released by East Idaho News, law enforcement was able to take DNA recovered from a knife sheath left at the crime scene and match it with DNA recovered from trash left outside of Kohberger's parents' home in Pennsylvania. Ultimately, it was a 99.9998% match. This would not have been possible without the utilization of a public genealogy database. The method of using DNA in a public genealogy database to solve both current and cold cases is relatively new in the world of law enforcement, but this is far from its first implementation. Notably, DNA from a genealogy database led the authorities to the Golden State Killer, Joseph James DeAngelo, in 2018. He was arrested after authorities uploaded DNA from a crime scene to a genealogy database called GEDmatch.
Compare your DNA to everyone on the site, or to a specific person, or find matches that are related to 2 different people.
According to a 2019 article from CNBC, more than 26 million people have shared their DNA with a public genealogy database through an at-home DNA test such as 23andMe or Ancestry. The authorities, in turn, have been using this readily available data to solve crimes, sometimes without the knowledge of the individual who submitted the DNA, or without even having someone submit their DNA, according to the New York Post. The Pew Charitable Trust explains that the police do not have unlimited access to genealogy databases. It depends on the company. For example, CNBC writes that Family Tree DNA provides the FBI access to their database. Investigators upload DNA from a crime scene and then use the matches they receive to compile a list of suspects. If users do not read the fine print, they might not be aware that the authorities can use their DNA. With that said, some question if law enforcement should have access to these databases in the first place. Moreover, the MIT Technology Review wonders if at-home DNA tests are more trouble than they are worth. As they put it, the consequences for privacy go well beyond that. As these databases grow, they have made it possible to trace the relationships between nearly all Americans, including those who never purchased a test. The New York Post reports that this was the case for Michael Usry Jr. After using Ancestry's DNA database, police named him as a suspect in the 1996 murder of Angie Dodge. During his initial interrogation, the police weren't immediately forthcoming with their accusations.
After maybe about an hour or two, they had to just basically go, no, we think that you were involved.
Although Usry did not submit his DNA to the company, his father did. Usry was later cleared of any wrongdoing but was still shaken up by the situation. He told the New York Post, "I know that my personal genetic information is still in the FBI criminal database. They're not going to just throw it away because of their mistake, but what are they doing with it?" It goes without saying that the use of DNA information by law enforcement agencies could potentially cause a pretty big rift between a government and its citizens due to privacy violations. Nevertheless, a 2019 study done by Pew Research Center found that 48% of Americans were okay with law enforcement using their DNA to solve crimes, and 18% were unsure. According to a 2019 article from NBC News, DNA databases led the authorities to solve 50 violent crimes across 29 states. When the previously mentioned genealogy company GEDmatch changed its privacy policy to prevent law enforcement from using its DNA databases, law enforcement and experts denounced this decision. However, NBC News adds that GEDmatch users could choose to be a part of law enforcement searches as long as they opted in. Despite this, genealogy experts noted that this change in policy would make it harder to solve cold cases and other crimes. Genetic genealogist Colleen Fitzpatrick told NBC News, "In the interest of public safety, don't you want to make it easy for people to be caught? Police really want to do their job. They're not after you, they just want to make you safe." According to the Pew Charitable Trust, several states, including Utah, attempted to introduce bills to limit law enforcement's ability to use DNA databases. In 2022, Utah's bill failed to pass.